it's this the scale of this. Like, hopefully, it gives people an idea of why like the typical age group races aren't live streamed as well. Like, I think we've talked before. Some of the most common YouTube comments are like, one of them is like, "Can you show more of a certain athlete?" And then also like, "Why aren't you streaming? My age group race in Dublin and things like that."
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we kind of did the age group coverage. If you go back to the last chance qualifier
Mm-hmm.
from last season in Barcelona, we did, and that was tough. That was tough. I remember Emily Darman led that, and she was quite a way out, but an athlete we had never seen before. And I just remember chatting with the producer and be like, "It's the girl with the long socks and the long blonde hair. Where is she? Where is she?" Or like look on every camera on the running track. Where's the long socks coming up? Yeah, she comes in. We're like, "Leader, we got a leader." Like, it's so hard when there's that many athletes around it. You're just looking in a sea of people. It's like playing Where's Wally, but he's wearing the same outfit as everyone else, not in his red
Yeah, yeah.
stripy jumper. Um, and like one of the things that I always every event I'm pitching something new to Chris and to Mo about what we could change. And for world championships, I do have an idea. Yeah, I think like there's some things now that YouTube is doing to enable like you can kind of move between different streams yourself. So this is one idea that I'm pitching for Stockholm, that we have it's not going to be anywhere near the elite 15 coverage, but that we can have a camera that looks at the sled push grid, and okay, it's going to be heavily favoring whoever's in the lead, but at least you can see that, and then your friend is there, and there's maybe a graphic for who's coming in and what time they exit. And then you go, "Oh, they've done the sled push," and then you click on basically like changing channel. "Oh, okay, I'll go to the sled pull next," and then you wait for them to come in. So yeah, things like that. So the technology is becoming more available to do things like age group coverage. But yeah, you couldn't do age group coverage. Imagine every wave. I don't know how many waves there are in a day at a High
Yeah.
Rocks event, but from like 8 a.m. till 8 p.m., there's no way. There's no
No,
way to make
no.
it the same level.
Do you like you sort of said like Stockholm became like the blueprint, that was the start point, but do you presumably you look at other sports and other events and maybe like use those to model on, like, are there any in particular that you think are the pinnacle?
Uh, Weirdly, I compare High Rocks quite a lot to Formula One. Maybe because
Hmm.
I'm a big Formula One fan. And like I said, I love the data side of things, and Formula One do data like nothing else. Yeah, I saw they take something that like there's 5 terabytes of data I heard per car from a race weekend, and zeros and ones in coding. I don't know how there's that much. Like that is extreme. Like
Yeah.
we're never going to be at that level for athletes. But the kind of data they pull off cars, I think it'd be interesting to work towards something like pulling that kind of data off of athletes. Obvious stuff like heart rate monitors, and that's something that's being worked on at the moment to get live heart rates from athletes so we can display that. Um, and they've started doing the last couple of seasons. I think it's like sponsored by Amazon Web, or it's powered by Amazon Web Servers, and it's the predictions. They have things like, oh, the predicted tire strategy is changed because of something that's happening, and it's all like AI calculated based on what's happening live in that race. And like I look to like things like that they're doing in Formula One, I see as quite inspiring, because where Formula One has the pit stops and you call that like different parts of a race, we've got 16 different parts to a High Rocks race.
Hmm.
Maybe you could put the runs all as one, but not everyone has the same skill on the ski erg, on the lunges and burpees, right? Everyone's got their one thing that they're a bit better than everyone else at, or the bit that they're a bit slower at. So, like the way that strategies play out, I think I like the idea of the predicting what's going to happen. And we we've tried doing it, but it's rather than being true like prediction of this race, we look back on average data. So you'll see it sometimes going into a workout. We'll pit 2 or 3 athletes head to head and say, uh, predicted next workout predictor, and it's their current split times going into the workout
Yeah.
and what we expect their split times to be in that workout. Like that's something I lifted straight out of Formula One, adapted it to Hyrox and dropped in. And I think if you look at how even like the race tower has been, you could probably look at that and say, oh yeah, that looks like a motorsport racing tower with the split times and things in there. So yeah, for me, it's Formula One. And yeah, definitely trying to do more with that predictive, like using AI. I'm AI obsessed recently. I've got the bug for it. So I'm trying to
I think some of that becomes easier as well, like the predictive side of things on this new elite specific setup. Like it's essentially like the same layout, the same course every time. Because sometimes if you're trying to compare like races against different courses and things like that, it can become a little bit sketchy. But that specific setup, I think, will help with that. Were you consulted on that side of things where they design that at all? And like, does that, like, do you prefer that sort of standardized setup?
we, I guess, consulted, maybe an overstatement. Like we were shown a draft plan for Hamburg, and we were definitely asked to give our input. Like, how would this? We built this arena. We think this is going to be amazing atmosphere for people on site, spectators right on top of the athletes, and it definitely was. Right, Hamburg was brilliant for that,
Mm.
and they said to us, "Will this look the same on camera? Will it look like stadium racing? People right there?" I said, "Yeah, it will, but let me put the cameras in the right place." And I think it's not anything that I get. It's not special for this new setup. It's great that we do have this relationship now with the operations team, that they send us like a working floor plan, and we look at, okay, where would we put the cameras based on this? Because and until this new setup's been, every racetrack is different, right?